Welcome back to the Blue and Gold Report, a very special edition. The entire athletic department, the entire campus is celebrating the men's back-to-back national volleyball championship. Saturday night, they knocked off number one BYU, and they swept them. They didn't lose a set in the Final Four, defeating Loyola Chicago Thursday before moving and winning the national championship Saturday. We have junior outside hitter Connor Hughes, such a huge part of this program for several years, and senior setter Chris Austin, who made the all-tournament team. All Connor did was be the MVP of the Final Four. They are here with Fumi Kimura joining me for a visit with the national champions. Hey guys, you're national champs. How does it feel?
I mean, it's an indescribable feeling. Like that moment that the last ball drops in that court, you see it go down and you just run to your teammates. It's something special. It really can't be described in words.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun experience, and the best part about it is that it was just as much fun the second time around. It's great being around the guys for all that time during the season, but to seal it up with a national championship and win the last match of your season is something that's truly amazing.
You know, guys, you lost to BYU twice, once in Provo 3-1 and then 3-2 at the Bren, and a lot of people that were there described that match as a championship caliber match. Were you surprised to sweep the Cougars in the final match?
I mean, I don't really think we were thinking how many games it was going. We were just thinking that we need to grind out whatever we need to do to get the win here. It's just, we were playing the game point to point to see what happened, and if we had to go 4 or 5 games, I think we still would have pulled it out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for us, beating them in 3 was a huge feat, obviously, but over the past few years, you can see that's just how we do it in the finals.
Connor, did you think that there was one particular key that turned around your fortunes against BYU after having lost to them twice and then, shutting them out this time?
I think the thing we did greatest that championship night was we passed the ball well, and on top of that, we just stuffed the ball in the defensive end of the court. We blocked so many balls. We had so many guys come up huge with these huge blocks. I think we outblocked them 16-4 or something like that. It was a crazy advantage on our side, and I feel like that really helped us out to win the match.
You know, the first set, it was kind of a normal volleyball match. The score seesaws. In the second set, you're down 11-4. Was there a sense of panic at all? And what was going on? What was going on that allowed BYU to get that huge jump on you guys?
All right, that's the thing about our team. The fact that we're able to play point to point and that we have so many guys who can take care of the ball offensively and defensively, we really never have to worry, even if we're in a situation where we're down 7 points or whatever the case, because something similar happened last year where we were down 7 or 8 points in the middle of game 2, and this team grinded and was able to come back that way, and Connor was a huge part of that.
Did Coach Niffen say anything to you to get you turned around and on your rally, because you outscored BYU 8-1 to tie it up 12-12?
What Niff kind of told us was we just need to start closing the gap. We don't need to necessarily close the gap right now or make a huge jump. We just need to keep chipping away, and we'll eventually close out that gap, and that's pretty much what we were able to execute.
Chris, in the third set, you're up 2-0. You know you're close, but now you're down 24-21 in the third set. You don't want to go to the fourth one. You end up scoring the last 5 points. How did that evolve, and what did that feel like?
Well, actually, it was an ironic thing because all we kept talking about in the huddle was that they were going to set Taylor Sander that next ball, and they ended up setting Russ Levi their middle, and our middle, Scott Kevorkian, who ended up having 12 blocks that night, made probably one of the greatest reads of his life and got up there and stuffed that ball, and after that, we were able to get Sander 3 straight times after that, and that kind of sealed the deal. Once we carried that momentum off Scotty's initial read, that gave us the confidence that we could come back after that.
I'm kind of glad you brought that up because I was able to watch, the last 2 sets. And what was going through your mind then when you stuffed Sander? Because there was a stare through the net, and I'm like, I saw that, and I thought, good for you, Chris.
Yeah, for me, it's just proven that our team's the best. I mean, all year long we've been hearing all these chirps about BYU and how they're the number 1 team, and we just want to be able to go in any arena that we play in and prove by the end of the year that we're the number 1 team. And I don't know, I kind of didn't realize at the time how long I was still at the net, but coming to think of it now, it's probably just us sealing the deal on that. I wanted to prove that we're the better team.
Was there any kind of advantage to be not the number 1 seed? Do you feel, would it have mattered, do you think, in your minds to be 1 or 2?
I don't think really for us, because we never go into tournaments or matches thinking that we're the underdog or that we're so much ahead of any team. We kind of go in every match the same way, just playing point to point and hoping that we can pull it out by the end.
Connor, this is for you. You lose in the semifinals of the conference tournament. Now, there's always a chance. You don't know what's going to happen Saturday night. Your season's over. So was there a special appreciation to get to the Final Four and go, hey, we got a little reprieve. We're going to come back, show them that we are the best, and a little extra incentive for you guys?
Oh yeah, it was basically unbelievable because you never want to leave like your fate in another team's hand, which is always kind of a little scary thing to happen. So we basically had one route that would help us get the at-large bid to the finals, and BYU ended up winning the MPSF tournament, which is what eventually got us that at-large and was able to shoot us into the Final Four. And then when we finally got there, we're like, okay, this is our second life. It's time to, like, I guess, I don't know, take advantage of it, full advantage of it, and just do what we can to win.
Connor, both you and Zach put up huge numbers offensively. I think you hit 364 and Zach was hitting 476. I mean, what made you two so effective in that championship match?
I think it was our game plan. It was like Niff said that we're going to set towards the short side of the court, and Chris did a great job of executing that. He pushed all the balls to the line. If you watch that game, I think we hit almost every single ball line that we weren't even like close to being touched. It was unbelievable.
This is to either of you. Talk about what Scott Kevorkian brought to that match, because like you said, he was huge at the net.
Yeah, Scotty probably played the most explosive match that I've ever seen him play. And to have 12 blocks in any match, let alone the national championship in 3 games, is ridiculous. But we know that Scott's a game-time player. He's going to be at the net chirping. He's going to be at the net running his mouth. And while he doesn't always get the biggest accolades and recognition, he's been a key to us winning in this year, last year, and every game leading up to this year.
Yeah. I think Scott was a key player of that match, man. That guy had, I think I was looking at the stats today, he had a ridiculous amount of blocks. I think we were even looking at it, his block totals were more than the whole BYU team had together. So saying that is something special, especially like Chris said, in 3 games, putting up those numbers is ridiculous.
Connor, you're the MVP of the Final Four, and there could have been several. The team was so good, so balanced. Chris, obviously, you were brilliant yourself. But here's the deal. You didn't start. Kyle Russell starts. Did that somehow, in some way, light an extra fire under you? And what were you thinking not starting, and then the moment you find out that you're being inserted into the game?
I mean, I was always expecting to go in at any point. Niff told me, he told Dano too. He basically told everyone on the bench, right, if something happens, we're going to need to adjust. And, luckily I was able to get in there and make that adjustment to help us win. And, I'm just always ready, and I love to live in these championship moments. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I think that did help excel my play to a different level that pretty much, I don't know, it's kind of in the zone, I guess.
Rob Sparrow calls you Mr. Clutch, but are you tired of coming off the bench?
I mean, hey, I'll do anything to help the team. I don't care if it's off the bench. I don't care if it's serving, blocking, having to come in and set a ball. I'll do whatever we need to do to win.
You've been asked to play almost every position except libero. You've been set a little bit. How did you develop your game and adjust to being asked to fill so many roles?
I've always kind of grown up like playing on the beach and just in that like atmosphere. You kind of learn how to play all facets of the game. So, to me, it's kind of like fun and challenging. Like I like doing playing different spots on the court. It's just a great overall experience for me, and I don't know. I think my just upbringing from playing volleyball kind of prepared me for that.
Well, how do you split your time, Connor, between the beach and indoors? I mean, do you go, all right, this week we're going to play indoors, next week the beach? I mean, you got to balance it, and there's, the natural ability is there, but there's different skill sets.
Yeah, well, I mean, Chris can tell you this too, because every time we go from indoor, it's right to the beach. I think he even played a tournament yesterday, which is crazy on the beach, and it's basically just a division of we're playing volleyball indoor all through the year, and then right when we're done, it's like, all right, now it's time to go hit the beach season, and it's just that separation kind of like helps you kind of refine your 2 different games, and it's just fun, man. Volleyball is just incredibly fun to us. We love it.
Connor, you come from a big volleyball family. Your sister Sarah is all over, the volleyball magazines. How do you like having the attention on you for a little bit?
It's nice because Sarah likes to do those little things. She rubs it in my face from time to time. So getting something like this is fun to have a little payback against the siblings.
You're gonna flash your rings in front of her?
Yeah, maybe a couple times.
When do you guys get your rings? Do you know? I mean, you do.
We've learned to stop hoping. Literally, no. A couple weeks ago, our first rings came in, but I guess there were a few smudges that only the smallest microscope in the world could see. So they took those rings back, and now we're just waiting on number 1 and number 2.
Oh no!
Good for you guys. Folks, we're going to take a break. We're with Connor Hughes and Chris Austin, back-to-back national champions, the UC Irvine men's volleyball team. And by the way, the program has won 4 titles in the last 7 years. We got a lot more with these two. Connor's actually got to run up, so we're going to concentrate a little more with Chris. But we'll take a break and back with more national championship men's volleyball after this on your home for Anteater Athletics, KUCI.